The #1 collectible silver dollar in the world today is not our Silver Eagle, very popular. The vintage coin, it's the Wild West Morgan dollar, right? That big silver coin that came from the Comstock Lode, Virginia City, Nevada. So during the time frame of the Morgan, we had Philadelphia and San Francisco, East and West Coast. We had New Orleans join in, Southern Mint, and then we had that beautiful Wild West Mint, Carson City. They made 13 coins in all, and in those 13, there are two crazy errors: the Spitting Eagle and the Tailbar. And tonight, guess what? I got the Tailbar back in stock. Let's have some fun with it. So the Morgan dollar was made from 1878 to 1904, then again in 1921, 28 total years. I referenced Carson City was only 13 years. That was 1878 to 1885, then we stopped, and then 1889 to 1893, and then we closed the mint for good. Gone. Never to reopen. How popular is the Carson City Mint? Well, let's go to modern day conversations. In 2021, on May 24th, the first of the modern Morgans released was the Carson City. 175,000 of them. Sold out in 3 minutes. And today, can you get that coin for $399? Whenever I bring out the modern Carson City, I sell it out every night, and I can't find enough coins. So when we take a journey back to the original 13 years, we can't find those either. But if you look at the numbers and add them all up and put them in a basket, right? Carson City accounts for less than 3% of all the Morgan dollars ever struck. So then you get beyond the years, 85cc, 93cc, 78cc, all the different years. As reference, there are two very distinct errors in the series struck at the Carson City Mint. Time out here. There is a third, but it's the 1900 O over CC. It's a Carson City error, but it was struck at the New Orleans Mint. So again, two errors struck at the Carson City Mint: the Spitting Eagle of 1891 and the first ever error, the 1890 Tailbar. Now, while I've been talking, you might have been looking at the front and the back of the coin. The error is in the back of the coin, and it is very obvious to the naked eye. And that is, looking at the eagle on the reverse, then you see the arrows in the talons, and then you see the tail feathers wrap around the wreath, and then the word $1 below it. You're going to see, obviously, a Tailbar sitting there at about 7 o'clock. It is right on the money. So if the word one, O-N-E, take the E straight up to the tail feathers, and there's a bar that shouldn't be there. It's known as the Tailbar. It's been nicknamed this ever since I've been doing this professionally the last 40 years. But with that said, here is the other fun factoid, right? So we have in 1890, we have Philadelphia, San Francisco, New Orleans, and Carson City. Carson City wins the low mintage figure race. And then we look at, well, how many coins are known to exist overall? How many Carson Cities have been seen? So they made 2.3 million CCs in 1890 versus, well, lots, 16.8, 10.7, 8.2 POS, the mints themselves. If you look at the number of Tailbars known versus the number of CCs from 1890 known, it's a really interesting experience. There are 16,011 coins that have been certified from 1890, all grades, NGC specific, right? As of today's date, a tiny number for a low minted coin. The Tailbar, there are 816 coins known to exist. Not 1,800, 816. My competition, they have them. They're a little over $900 today. And there's our certified genuine by NGC as well. Because of the rarity of this Morgan dollar. Whenever we get them, we don't sell them in capsules. We only sell them certified. Because it is somehow replicated out there in the world. And that tail bar in an old Morgan looks real. They're not. So ours are always going to be certified genuine, so you know what they are. All of them are beautiful, homogeneous, obverse, reverse, great eye appeal. So you can see that great error. So above the D and the O and dollar is the CC. Above the wreath to the left, the tail feathers look perfectly. It's a great haircut. And then you got one long hair that just shouldn't be there. That's the tail. That's the tail bar. That's the error. Fun stuff. Now here's the other thing that's important. I talked about the Spitting Eagle. We love that name. The 1891. Are you ready for the numbers? 1891 Spitting Eagle. NGC in the last 40 years has certified 6,749 of them. All great. Still a crazy low number, right? Let me go back to what I said earlier about this one. 816. Spitting Eagles sell for the same price that these do. They're not the same coin. They're from the same family. They're CCs. They're also the one of two known CC minted errors, but they're not the same. So if you put a bar graph together and one of them has 6,749, you can see the bar. Ooh, bad pun here. This is a tail bar. Then you put the other one up, this one, at only 816, and you can't. That's how special this is. Guys, give me a 1 minute clock. Actually, take that down. We're not going to make it. I'm just going to walk through this. If you're visiting us via the web, avccoins.com. And this is in your shopping cart. You're going to hang around for a while. And we got a lot of great stuff. 60 plus items in our show tonight. This one's not going to last. We've already had a dozen sellouts, and thank you all for that. But this one, well, we've had this available twice this year. Twice. We have 60 items a night, right? Twice. Yeah, that's how special it is. Look at that price on top of it. Under 500, it's definitely a winner.